And we are live. Hello, everyone. We are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the spaceship. You could be watching from anywhere around the country or the world, and I really appreciate all of you. And tonight I'll be gaming and talking about some things that we'll be also talking about tomorrow for the Friday evening stream for the earlier audience. And this is like a pre-stream for that and for the late night people, and it's something that we like to do here. So also I'm about to switch over to the other screen so y'all can see me. And hello, shout out to Bubbles, the spaceship cat that's talking, that's excited for the stream. And here we go. I'll be switching over so y'all can see me now. Alright. Hello, everyone. I am here. And hello Bubbles. Alright, and so basically, alright. Hello, I'm going to be getting the game started, and hello, Blue. Good to see you. Welcome to the chat. No, just that, he wants to, maybe he wants to, be petted or something. No, I don't mind going over there and doing it, but, thank you. Alright, so yeah, shout out to Bubbles. And now what I'm going to be doing is I'll be starting the game, and I'll be doing the game for a little while. And also, I'll be talking about the different stuff, trials and things I've been watching, and other things in my mind, and stuff that's been going on in general. We'll share with everybody. All right. In Blue, I hope that you're having a good week and a good day, and I wish that for all of you. Some people are watching this live. Some people are seeing this being streamed, as a replay. So I appreciate all of you that see these things. And now I'm waiting for the game to start up, and we'll see how that goes. If the game is going to be cooperative or not. Alright, so Marsha. Hello, Marsha. Good to see you. Shout out to you. I am glad that you are here. Thank you for coming to this stream. I appreciate you. Over from ABL. And now I'll be... Okay, so this is the game that I play. That I play while I do the stream. And putting this over here so we can see what's going on. Okay. Alright. So the game is now loading. This is the pirate game that I play it usually in the beginning, and sometimes I get into some other stuff later. Sometimes I'll play it the whole time. Hello, Shecky. Good to see you. That was a cool chase earlier. I saw the rerun of it. And also for dinner I had beans, rice, and turkey sausage, and there was some meat in it also, and turkey sausage. Yes. Rice with jalapeno and queso. I had this nice toast with what is it called? Pumpernickel bread and butter and some olive oil. So Marsha, that's what I had this time. And I have plenty of the daikon snacks to eat on also, along with the other things that I eat. And I have some ice cream cake still that I'll be eating later on. Yeah, birthday cake. Happy birthday to you, Eugene. Happy birthday to you, Eugene. and I hope that you've been having a good birthday. All right. Oh, now I'm talking. Now it looks like what they do in this game is that they have the they have the water green looking for St. Patrick's Day that's been coming up. They did celebrate Mardi Gras in this game, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so we have that. It's really nice. Okay. All right. Now I'll be launching the Galactic Rose, the pirate ship, and getting it ready. They give you options to name the pirate ship, and that's how it's named. It's by selecting some names. All right, and also, Marsha says I had Brussels sprouts, chicken wings, and garlic bread. Oh, okay. And Blue says only the comment from the pumpkin bread. OMFG. I had General Tusso's chicken and carrot cake. Okay. Yeah, that's very good. Now there's something I need to do really quick with this. Okay, here. All right. Had to do something with my serene. I got everything under control. All right. Okay. Yeah, so this is walking around the big pirate ship. Very nice. Only the comment for the pumpkin nickel bread. All right. So, okay, and this is based off this game is called The Legend of the Pirates of the Caribbean, The Legend of Pirates Online. It was based off of Pirates of the Caribbean Online by Disney, but they took it down the original version of the game, which is identical to this game. But this game's a little bit more advanced with better graphics than the other one. This was like fan created, but the other one originally had Disney, but they were gonna make stupid apps like Where's My Water, which that was an example someone made in 2014, but they're just saying that Disney was gonna invest in things that had nothing to do with what they should be investing in, like, but they never made any apps or anything that I knew of, although that was just an expression. But it was unfortunate that they took out the pirate game, but it's good now that they have finally. What? Do they run that game? Does Disney run that game? No, Disney does not run this game. It's fan made. So it's good that they brought it back. They also brought back Toontown, which we haven't played yet. It's another multiplayer game. Sometimes Zero comes into the game and he plays with us. Plays with me in the game. Yeah. And that is the Jolly Roger Moon, and that is the villain in the game that goes. He's going to attack Tortuga in 30 minutes, and he has like a horde of Timu pirates that attack, and the other pirates, the human pirates go. Well, the living pirates go and fight them, kind of like it's an invasion. And then you have these giant, like, Nephilim Timu pirates that are like these giant skeletons. And these skeletons have these giant barrels with TNT, and they go blow themselves up. So they're like, they are basically terror. They're like terrorist zombie skeleton pirates. And they go and blow themselves up with everybody with them. So that's something that's going to happen, but there's only a few people in the game, so it probably would just be me and some invisible person fighting them. Marsha says Disney bought Circus Circus Las Vegas. I just heard today from GIV YouTuber. Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing that with us. Yeah. I've heard in the past that, yeah, Timu Pirates, it's funny. I heard in the past that they were going to. This is something that was not going to happen, but basically, there is talks if Titanic was ever raised, they would try to put it where in Disneyland, in Disney World. I'm getting them mixed up, but either one of the parks for display. And as I said, which I believe they would. With the right technology, they could bring it back up, but there's controversial things about bringing Titanic back. and it's very weak. Good to see you, Kathy. It's fantastic to see you, and it's great to see you. And this is a lovely surprise to see you here. And happy birthday to you, Gene. Yeah, that's good. And also, Bubbles gets excited, and he likes to. Um, this screen. Okay, I have to do this again. Okay. Yeah, thank you for petting Bubbles. He's a good cat. All right. So anyway, Kathy, good to see you. And my place, I'm not quite sure, but anyway. So let's just start on something. So yeah. So basically, in the game, Disney, they shouldn't have. Oh, that Titanic. Yeah. So I saw an animation about if Titanic was able to be raised, and how they would hypothetically bring it through New York City, and they would be able to, it would be able to complete its voyage, and it would be put on this giant like warship, a giant warship. There might be some points of Bubbles I might have to go and pet him and hang out with him, but I'll still be able to talk to y'all though. But he's doing okay. He's okay right now. So, and he likes to chats. He just likes to chatter sometimes. And Marsha says, I saw a video yesterday that their U.S. Titanic ship experience, can't remember location. Oh, yeah. They have some locations that were coming to New Orleans, where I am, or in Texas. They have a couple of exhibits that are going to be happening. Yeah. And speaking, Kathy and Blue are from my trial chat friends, because everybody in here is from various different live streams that I go and look at. And also, yeah, Kathy is from the trial group. So basically, they had a trial for Ismay, the guy that was the director of the company at that time of the Titanic White Star Line, and it was very good to see that, although it was not televised or anything like we have now, but the trial was going on, and with a couple of different people, they had a trial for that, because it was crazy about the sinking. So that was something interesting that happened. So there was a trial, obviously, afterwards, and these legal battles over it, because it was the thing, and also they got sued really bad. They got really badly sued because of what happened. And but a lot of the people that could have been held responsible. Yeah, you're from ABL chat, Eugene. Yes, the people that were responsible. Yeah, Blue is from Earth. You are an Earthling. That's true. And they went down with it. Other people that would have been maybe held responsible went down with it, because it was their duty of honor to do that. But the dude that said that having too many lifeboats would make the ship look ugly. Yeah, that guy was the guy that went on the lifeboat. It was kind of funny. Yeah, Marsha. Yeah, yeah, ditto. Yeah, because Marsha's from there too. Yeah, and Shecky's is from everywhere. I see him all over the place. Yeah, and so basically today I was watching some trials. They had so to today with the trials, they had so many trials, an abundance of trials. There's too many of them, and I'm the chat referee. I'm the unofficial chat referee and the unofficial mascot of the Law and Crime Chat. And I was in there watching the trials because it's something I'm interested in doing and I like keeping up with them. And also, I was monitoring how the chats were going, and I don't even quite remember at this point in time all the names of all the trials that are going on. But I know about them, but I'm not quite sure every single one I remember the name. So, but I know the Slenderman trial. Basically, basically with the Slenderman trial, there is this situation where this girl thought she was talking to Slenderman and she did some evil stuff, and deleted, deleted people because the voices of Slenderman were talking to her. And I did the creepypasta on this channel. I did it here. So then I see the trial being done, and yeah, that one they're talking about releasing her, and I think that she needs to go to an asylum, and I think she'll be still a danger. So I don't agree with releasing her though. Eugene says Taylor Swift might have to go on the record with Blake Lively situation alien. Okay, thank you. I didn't know about that. And also, I will in a little bit probably go over and read the different cases for y'all to know. Yeah, the asylum it is. So basically, what happened with that? Yes, and Eugene can elaborate what happened. I'd be interested to know more. And so basically, what happens with that trial? It was nothing completely interesting going on with the Slenderman trial, but it was also interesting subject to talk about. This other one, this we call the Seaman trial because of Monica Cementelli and all the dirty stuff about her. The one of the accomplices was talking today and the couple of days now, and people think that he was on the spectrum, and he was like a follower to Baker, to Backer, and he went and helped as an accomplice with the deletion or unaliving of Fabio. And I think that he's totally guilty, but his story is very heartbreaking and it's believable. Although he's not, he shouldn't be released or anything. It's a very sad situation. Exactly, Blue. Right. Also, what happened was Chat was very engaged. Chat was doing a good job at behaving and keeping up with what the different witnesses were saying. They had some detectives talk after. They had a detective talk afterwards, and some other people. It was a very intense case, but yeah, she is guilty of sin for what she did, for cheating on her husband and also having him taken out. Yeah, it was very unfortunate what occurred, and people just got to understand that they're not invincible and they're not going to get away with it, and they shouldn't do it. Right, right. And yeah, all these trials are back in session. Right, Marsha. Also, there's the house burning trial. The judge is really cool there. I think he's pretty, chill with everybody. And the defendant looks like an ogre. Like I said, a Timu ogre. And so in the chat, we will roast the bad people, and we're having a field day roasting the bad defendant. And that one, they'll show different scenes, different pictures, and different videos. And there's testimonies. Some people that were in prison. This lady that was locked up, and she had these really broad arms, and she was, on the stand. And they'll show like body cam footage. And as I said, I still think guilty. And this new trial that popped up, I don't know what it's called, but it's this woman that was murdered, and there other persons on trial. I don't know any names of that one yet. So that one, not much is going on with that, but it's still something I keep an eye on. But most of the people don't, or at the more the ones that have been going on. Marsha, it's called Law and Crime with an and sign trials, and there's two channels that we both look at because there's different trials on the two different channels that we both like. We all like this group. We all kind of go back and forth between the two channels interchangeably. There's Law and Crime Trials and Law and Crime Network. There's a blue one and there's a red one. Most of the trials right now are at the red one, if not all of them. All of them are probably at the red one. So subscribe to both of them. We're at the red one the most. That's where like 3 of them are going on. It'll be great to see you in chat. I bet you are, Blue. Saying your name's like Blue's Clues. I like saying Blue. She's so young and heartless, Kathy said. Absolutely, very young and heartless. To go and take, doing evil acts like that. And I found, and I will say this again for Marsha. So, Marsha, I found the trial, Law and Crime, whereas during the Johnny Depp trial that I was very involved in, it was, and I was on independent with this other person. Oh, okay. I'm going to put the links to the channel. I'm going to put the links. I'm going to put the links. All right. That's what we're going to do. Because it's law and with an and sign trials. But I'm going to put the links in there so it could be easier to just click on the link and subscribe to them. All right. So we're going to be getting the links out, and we're going to go over here. And we're going to pause that, and we're going to pause that and say L and crime. Yeah, here we go. We're going to do this. Okay. That's the blue one. And where a lot of these trials I'm talking about right now is at the red one, Law and Crime Trials. The Law and Crime, the one I'm about to put in the chat is the one where Monica is. The Monica one. Those are sub to both. Thanks. Yeah, so that's Law and Crime Trials and Law and Crime Network. Yes, they're very disturbing, Eugene, and people in the chat, including myself, get very disturbed by them. And I, for instance, and other people talk about. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna put the name. Okay, and since you're taking snapshots, I'll put the name of. Oh wait, she. All right, but I'm going to one more time put the name of the trials and the two channels again. I want to make this a little bit. Yeah. Thanks, chat, for the. That I feel I want to break that up a little bit. So this is kind of funny, but I'm going to do this one more time because I want to feel a little bit self assured. Crime trials. All right. So that is breaking it up in two pieces. Yes, they're live streaming trials. Yes. Kathy says they are. It amazes me that people can do things like that. I wonder what makes them mind and heart work. Oh, yeah, Kathy. I completely agree with you. I wish I understood the heartlessness of these people and like what causes that and why they do it. And also, Marsha, I'm there all day long at the channel at the trial chat. You'll see me there, and I come usually in the afternoon, but they start much earlier in the morning usually. I will rarely come in like they've seen me around 7 in the morning. There'll be times where I'll stay up all the way until 7:30 in the morning, and I'll go tell them hello. Then I take a little nap and get up later and talk to them. Go back and talk to them because I'm have a crazy schedule. So, but yeah, and basically, I'm there, and I like patrol the chat, and I'll keep the trolls in check. Although I'm not a mod, and I will talk to the different people. We'll have conversations. We'll discuss the trials. Like there's GSI 8, which I've talked about a lot here. She very smart, and she makes very great commentary on the trials. And there's a very good group there, and there's people of all kinds of different political, religious people that are all these different groups and races and things, but they're all united together on a common purpose and a common cause. And there is things this controversial things discussed sometimes, especially if a case is talking about it. But usually everybody's like united with the trial. That's what I love about that. Everybody from these different spectrums and things are all united together for that purpose. And that because I feel that a lot of the stuff divides people. It's interesting. It's good, important to talk about those things. But I do think that it's good to see the unity. And I, for one, like to. Yes, it's like an online jury. As Addie said, if I we are like the 12th jury, and we are, we're like the 12th jury, the shadow jury, and also we talk about our personal lives, and we've known a lot of each other for years, and I I will sometimes direct people to, and it's not just me, it's a teamwork of people. It's not just me. It's all of us, our group of friends. We're all like a group, and we'll tell each other, and I and others, like, if this trial is ending, what's going on with this trial or that trial. We go back and forth and tell each other, what's going on. And even if I'm, like, doing something else, we'll get, they will, on their own, do that, which I like to see. And there's trolls, and we all roast them together, and we also roast the evil defendants. Or sometimes there's an attorney that's stupid, or a prosecutor, or somebody's innocent. This depends on the circumstances. So I really enjoy that, and I think people should see trials. And one thing that I love to see is something that across political spectrums, across religious spectrums, across everywhere can agree on, that love this country, is that people in Europe stay up all night long in late hours and odd hours to see the American juridical process. And that's something I always admire to see. And I was talking to Stephanie. She's in France. And we're talking for about, an hour, a few hours, I'd say. And she was explaining to me that, over in France, they do not show trials for privacy of criminals, and they rip them off. And I said, it's what our country is all about. And we want people to, the freedom of press, and this is how our system works. We're not like the other countries. We are a country that shows what's going on, and we're very direct, and we're not like over there, like what Martin Luther King was talking about, how he could understand in China or in Russia or a totalitarian country, if they go and segregate people and stuff, but over in America, we shouldn't be doing things like that. That's a controversial topic, maybe some people, but of course I think nowadays we are beyond that. But basically, I think the purpose is that it's great to see how transparent, thank you, Marcia, it's transparent about how our country is. And these people, as I said, and I talk to them, and sometimes they'll say different words in their language that they know a little bit, but we mostly, talk in English. Some other chat room, I've talked completely in different languages for the, not that I am fluent in different languages. I know some things about some other languages, but I sometimes, have like I'll translate something and I'll explain something to somebody else, but I know little bits and pieces of other languages. Some I know better than others. My time on YouTube, I talk to people internationally, and basically it's in English. It's basically in English, and and Stephanie's an English teacher, and she likes to look at the trials to learn about what is being said, so she could learn some new things about English to tell her class, and it helps her practice. And that's a perfect place. I've learned new words from the trials and new terms and things, and I've learned things from like Capri Law. She's someone that comes in here sometimes. She's another attorney, and she is like an encyclopedia of words. She's a library of words. And I like learning stuff from her and other people. And we all learn from each other. They learn things from me and vice versa. Yes, correct, Blue. Correct, Blue. Good point. Rose is dope. Ship name. Huh. Rose is a dope name. Thank you. Thank you, Blue. And Eugene said it bothers him when murderers are treated like rock stars. And now you're referring to the media. Sometimes the media will, it depends on who it is and what cases are happening. Like, I don't really, there are instances, I guess, in the media, which I would blame the media for that, for treating people like rock stars. I don't really, that's not anything I've seen recently. Well, for instance, the Columbine shooter, And those shooters are kind of treated like rock stars. And Luigi Mangione, he's treated like a rock star, definitely. That one is. So I do agree with you, Eugene, that I don't like that either. But it mainly has to do with the media and people that are into or fans of the defendant in that way, or like say Wade Wilson, for instance, how he was treated like a rock star, and there's thousands and thousands of these women all over the world that think that he was innocent and he was a cool dude, but he was complete trash. But I do agree with you. It doesn't happen all the time. It depends on the defendant. Oh, Luigi Mangione, that has been going on, and Marshall, I'll explain something to you, which is something that the host of Law and Crime, Jesse Weber, and I. Now, I've not talked to him in the chat personally, but he's seen my chat messages, of course, because he looks at the chat. But he's one of the hosts at Law and Crime, and he was talking on this like newsroom with one of the other ones. Is that the federal courts are not public. There's no cameras in a federal courtroom. And Luigi Mangione, he is not. There's no cameras in his courtroom since December, and before that, and recently, there have been some times where Luigi Mangione had hearings, and what Law and Crime does is they go and show the outside of the courtroom, and they they show the outside of the courtroom, but they do not have cameras in the courtroom. And Law and Crime, they'll in their newsroom and in the chat, they'll give us updates about what's going on inside of there. And I really do like when they do that, but it would be great, like what Jesse Weber was saying, they should have it in the courtroom. And also, Eugene says the Menendez brothers, and the Menendez, in my opinion, and also I was not around at the time of the Menendez brothers. I was not born yet. From my research about it, there seems to be some alleged ambiguity if they really did that for like they did it, but there's something about them being abused, or one of them was abused, which was not make it right what they did, but were they abused? Other people say that are against the Menendez brothers that they're trying to get the family's inheritance and blame it on a gang. So it seems like it's up in the air, and to me it seems 50-50. They shouldn't be necessarily treated like rock stars, I agree with you, but I think it's important for people to know about it, like what's going on. And Eugene, the problem is mainly with fans of the people that cause them to be like rock stars, or the media. Or they have an agenda. It just depends. Like, I think Diddy is universally disliked at this point, but is he a rock star or not? Being treated like that, he may be, maybe not. But I'd say that Diddy, Puff Daddy, is universally disliked, but there might be one or two people that like him. But he is. These are giant crabs, giants. Right there, these giant scorpions. Giant scorpion. Scared. So that is my take on it. So yeah, the trial chat, they're very cool people, very great community. And there used to be a thing with trolls that was going on. So they had some mods. Well, I'll say the chat now, there isn't really any trolls, or there might be one here and there, but the situation's been neutralized, and they seem like they're patrolling the chat a little bit better. There's a point where they had Addie, who was the former director of Law and Crime, and her mods. Okay, that's not. I disagree with that. What just happened there? There's no reason to delete his message. Why was that? You see, Blue, you can't be deleting people's comments for no reason. I'm not. I don't like that. You can't be doing that. All right. You know, mods can't be doing that on the channel. All right. Okay. All right. So we're gonna make him, give him a wrench. Because you can't just be doing that. All right. I know it was probably an accident, but you can't be doing that. Okay. All right. We're gonna go on the ship and repair it. Okay. So also, in Eugene, you're now a mod. You could. I don't know if Ash did it by accident or whatever, because he's done that sometimes. He'll tap something and he deletes the comments, and I don't really like that. But so I made you a mod now. All right. I do not know who that is, Marsha, but I'll certainly look into it. I'll look into that. And what does that channel do? I'm just curious. And for my birthday, they flooded the messages. They flooded the chat with my birthday messages. It was very moving. Oh, okay. Thank you. I'll look into it. Thank you. Let's see. Let's see what this is called. I'll look this up right now. Yes, I've seen him before. Yes, I know. I know who you're talking about. Yes, I've. Thank you for telling me about the channel. I have not seen him in a long time. That channel, but yes, I know about that channel. I've been on the lives before. Right, doing some more. All right, this is where you patch up the leaks. Well, Eugene, Blue accidentally must have timed you out. You know, he did this before. Like he's like touching the screen by mistake, or or if he did it for another reason, he could tell me. But you didn't do anything wrong, Eugene. If you're timed out, it wasn't something that you did. It was just he timed you out by mistake. I think it's he was saying he's new to modding, and he wanted to be a mod, but as I said, he kind of has done this a few times. So I'm giving you the blue wrench so it could be able to distinguish you where he might remember not to do that, and I don't think it would affect you. So yeah, thank you for letting me know what happened, and I saw what happened, but I'm glad that you're still here in the chat. Thank you. But it was an accident. He didn't mean to. He's still trying to get the ropes. Because, I'll say when you're on mobile and you're scrolling in a chat room, the slightest little touch will cause the screen to show a menu. And in the Law and Crime chat room, people block each other all the time by mistake. Or it doesn't happen as frequently, but they used to be, sometimes would press different buttons and things like that. So, as I said, shout out to Blue. He's cool people. He's just learning the ropes of it. It's all good. He did it to Gray's Essentials last time, by mistake. But I'm right here, looking at everything. I know that you're not a team neutral. Shelly, very nice to see you here. Welcome. My mom's trying to grow her channel. She put a funny video out today. CB Koi. Well, yeah, Marsha, tell us the name of your mom's channel, or you could put the link in the chat if you want also, and we'll subscribe to it. And can you clarify, is it called CB Koi? Let us know. Thank you. Cutting the wood. Scared. Oh, Marsha, we were talking about koi the other day. The Japanese fish. We were talking about the other day. Wow. Absolutely. Okay, thank you. Yeah, subscribe to that channel that she's talking about. Also, so I'm going to explain about the law and crime thing for Marsha. So, a little history. So, basically, the channel, there's Addie and her mods. For instance, Linda that comes in here, she was a former mod at Law and Crime. And there's many other ones, but Linda was the only one that stayed over at Law and Crime after her wrench was taken away, and she stayed with us, and I was able to tell her about the channel. Oh, so okay, Marsha, if you're on mobile, you could you could go where the search button is and type in the name. Now you are on mobile. Yeah, what you would do is you would find a video. Well, yeah, what you could do is, well, since you're watching the stream, you know what? I'll put the link in the chat for you. All right, because you're on mobile. I'll take care of this. What you do is you would copy and paste the link. You would copy and paste the link from the search bar, or if you're on mobile, you would go to the channel itself, or you would go to a video and press the share button, and it'll give you an option to copy the link. All right, I'm gonna get the link right here. Now I don't know. Is it called CB Koi and Pond Maintenance and Services? Is that what it's called? Because I want to make sure that's the right one. No, I see it. I see it right here. I see it. I did. Okay, I'll rephrase that. All right, CB Koi. As I said, I'm not quite okay. So okay, she said no. She said no. You told your mom today it was hard to find the channel. Okay. I have another question. Is the channel called CB Koi? I'll put it in the chat also. Because I see a channel right here that says CB Koi. Okay, Marsha, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, let us know what it is, and we'll put it in the chat. All right. When she comes back, I'll also explain the story about Law and Crime. All right, got some nice waves. Rummer's Island. That's beautiful. Only one of those hit the ship. Scared. Scared. Oh, thank you. Okay. Yep, that's the one that I saw. All right, subscribe to that channel. Thank you. Hello, Liberty. Good to see you. All right, all right. You're welcome. You're welcome, Marsha. All right. So basically, the story. So I'm explaining the story of Law and Crime to Marsha. So yeah, a couple years ago, yeah, Addie and her little group of mods, they modded the chat at Law and Crime, and there's a few of them, and they had these rules and stuff where it was like the rules of the Law and Crime like company, and they're like enforcing it. And some people thought that they went overboard with it, or they like people couldn't be as political, or they couldn't talk or say the word gun. But we know now that the word gun seems to cause some problems, so people like to say pew pew instead. As you know already, like there's certain words that may cause a problem, and then the mods eventually got taken off later, and there was no mods, and they caused a problem with. Good night, Marsha. Thank you for coming. And eventually caused a problem where there were so many trolls and stuff in the chat, and then later on, they the situation seemed to be taken care of, and there's not as many trolls as there used to be. All right. Thank you for coming, Marsha. Already got that ship pretty good. Think that was a ship we were fighting earlier. I like the green water. Very nice touch. Eugene said the worst chat he's been in is Timcast IRL. Hilarious. And Liberty, I hope that you're having a good day, a good evening. So basically, we're talking about some of the trials. There's quite a few of them I'm watching and keeping up with. Quite a few of them. And there's some heartbreaking testimony from one of the accomplices in the Seaman trial. And today I was talking to a lady in France that was explaining that over in Europe they don't show the trials like they do here, so they love to watch them. And that's why we have to be thankful for the freedom we have in this country, because other countries don't have that. And I'll be going live also tomorrow as well. But basically, that is, the reasoning why, it's very important. And we had a good day today, and I roasted Monica very hard roast, and the chat was hysterical. It was a very good day. And I was thanking the chat for their patience while we were waiting. And they're glad that I was there, and we told everybody good night when it was time to go. It was nice and smooth, and sometimes the judge is kind of late, but as I said, I am glad and thankful for the chat being patient, and that was very cool to see. So I am. It was a very good day today for the child chat, and we'll see how tomorrow and the rest of the time goes. And yes, so there's and a couple of new ones are happening. There's one about a trial is going on about the Slenderman the girl that thought Slenderman was talking to her and to go and do murder. And I think she belongs in an asylum. and needs to get help. But I don't agree with releasing her out. I don't think it's the best idea. So that was one of them I was seeing today, and a couple other murder ones. And also the farming one, that has not been on for a couple of days, but that one I was watching during this week. So it's been a very active week for me and very active day. But it was a good day. I enjoyed it. All right, so we're going and taking out these ships. Yeah, Mary Toodles says happy birthday to Eugene. I appreciate Mary. Thank you. Yeah, so I think it's important for people to. Oh, Kathy said, sorry, I was sleeping. Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow, Alien. All right, Kathy. And I'll be doing, remember, everybody, I do lives also on Friday evening, so, it doesn't. But I'm still thankful, though, for people that do stay up a little bit to see these late streams. I appreciate it. And Kathy, good night to you. See you tomorrow at court. And yeah, thank you, Mary, for giving him a shout out. Today it was a day also of cat wrangling. I was watching some stuff about how these farmers, these the modern day cowboys, and how they go and herd cattle around. Yeah, Kathy. Yeah, Kathy. Be blessed. Have a good, blessed night. Also, yeah. Thanks, Eugene, for telling her that. And yeah, I was watching this thing about the cattle being herded around. Now, nothing gory or graphic. All right, nothing being graphic or gory. But basically, what happened was there's these ranchers, and they had these different types of cattle in various stages, young and old, and oh Lord, scared. So with the cattle out there, these group of cowboys had to bring them across this vast land and some trees, and they had to go and find them and separate the herd and bring them back to this other area where they were supposed to keep them. And they also had the cattle, they were putting them in these giant carts. So yeah, that certainly is a job. That certainly is a job to do. And I think that for people to work those hard jobs, I really it's a lot of work. And it reminds me with the cats a little bit, herding cats around. It also reminds me with the trial chat when we are herding the different people around or dealing with the trolls and stuff. So yeah, it was very interesting to see because I've never really seen that before with the cattle being herded around. Mary, I told you about this story earlier. I didn't. That's not what I was talking about. I was talking about just people, cowboys, and they're putting cattle from point A to point B. These farm animals. One thing I have to do real quick. And oh, the carrot cake. That sounds very delish. One thing I want to do real quick. Let's see. All right. Let's see if that works better. Maybe something wasn't plugged in right. Okay. No disturbing stories. I am Timu Snippy. I'm not just Snippy. I'm Timu Snippy. Yeah, carrot cake sounds delicious. Oh, about red velvet cake. When I was growing up, I loved getting carrot cake. I mean, I loved getting velvet cake. Mary Toodles down the street at the other house, she made excellent carrot cake. I mean, velvet cake. And so I'm gonna rephrase what I just said because it didn't make any sense. Okay, so Mary Toodles did very good at making velvet cake. That's one of my most favorite cakes. Maybe people don't like velvet cake, but I liked it. And I would eat like the that device that is used to mix up the cake. Oh, I loved it. It was very good, nice and elegant, nice and red. I love velvet cake. Carrot cake is good as well. That's another good cake. Now I'm still eating the ice cream cake, and it's delicious, man. I never had anything like that before, an ice cream cake, and it's doing very. Enjoying it very much. And I mentioned in the title about the Edo period. Yeah, I'm not. Look, I'm not gonna say any kind of disturbing stories on animals, especially if you're here. I wouldn't do that, and I'm not. I don't want to talk about disturbing stories on animals anyway. Yeah, but and also what I was doing was I yeah. So the cake very good. I also love cookie cake. And then they had this other group that was herding some cattle around, and they're herding them across the street, and they had to block it off, and they had to get the cattle together, and this big giant mass planes everywhere. It reminds me of when Ryan Hall y'all does those the weather tornadoes. That's what it reminded me of, because that's when I saw the planes. It's like these certain parts of the country go on forever and ever and ever. It just goes on. I don't recall having the German chocolate cake, but I should have had it if I haven't had it. But German chocolate cake, I'm sure, is delicious. And then it would be carrot cake. So yeah, the German chocolate cake, and then the carrot cake. Yeah, that's what I would say in that order. Also, sometimes during the trials, people have memories of things that happened to their relatives or themselves, and I think it's therapeutic in a way. And there's a group of people that help them, and including myself, feel better. And it's a good support group. We pray for each other. We talk about the different holidays. We, talk regular lives, and people are friends. It's a place to make friends. So, and you have some morons that try to rain on the parade, and I think that it's very wrong for people to go and troll a chat. Absolutely terrible. But I put them in their place. Okay, let's see. You was incredibly popular and well written, which is why the series ending left many disappointed, and not because fans wanted to see more. The creator of the series began suffering from health problems at the series progressed and had a major impact on his conclusion. Being, let's see, Yu the anime series, is being removed from Netflix on April 1st, 2025 as part of a standard license renewal and content rotation practices. But the live action remake will remain on the platform. It's because of license renewal. That's why. Because, okay, so Blue, it's because of the licensing cycling. It's a reason why a lot of videos on YouTube at a certain point got taken off. It's because of the licensing agreements that were happening, but it looks like a lot of those videos came back. But yeah, so the reason on Netflix is because of a licensing rotation. But I think from what I read, allegedly you're still able to see some reruns of it. A place called Friendly's has a watermelon ice cream thing. Could have been ice cream cake. Oh, that's true, Eugene. That's true. Oh, it's only on Hulu. Ah, okay. Hulu's trying to make bank. That's what they're trying to do. Shelly says, I've had watermelon ice cream years ago. Nope. For me, at a place called Vicky Marie's. Now, I will say that I never had watermelon ice cream. I never had that before. I don't know how that would taste. But the ice cream that I had is delicious. It's like from Willy Wonka's Chocolate Factory, but it's not chocolate. Although chocolate ice cream, in my opinion, is very good. It's very delicious. And I told the chat I was thankful for what they were doing, like, staying patient. And they were telling me they're thankful for my service to the channel. These random people, and some people that I know or like associated with, all these people were telling me thanks. And I really appreciate that. So yeah, trial chat was great. I remember I was talking to Stephanie for a little while, telling her if they were on break, and her for stay around for a little bit longer, and she learned some different things about the languages. Like, she'll learn more about English. And G and I were talking about how cringe the people were, how Monica was, and all the other child chats were talking basically that the defendant is guilty. Yeah, so it was a great network, and I like the network of people getting along. So it was very cool. And yeah, but I hate when a series goes down or they don't like have a licensing thing. And so as I said, same thing with YouTube. I think YouTube does not have the most pleasant user experience. And I think that like they want to peer pressure people into buying the YouTube Premium. But I think it's important. Making money is important, but I think the most important thing should be having a good user experience for your audience, and not just doing things to make money or getting people to buy a certain premium. So that's something that I think is important for platforms, is user experience. At the same time, it's good for a content creator to make money. I think it's good for people also to have a good user experience, and I think both can be achieved. But the YouTube platform, as I said, and also Rumble too, that they'll have these ads that are like in the video. And I mean, come on now. Like, YouTube has made a handsome buck off of my ads that were just in stream. So they're on Google Ads. You have, which are the ads that you'll see on when you're watching a stream, and you have like an in-stream ad. So an in-stream ad is when you're watching a trial and you have the volume up to hear something you could barely hear the trial, but you have the volume up, and it'll blow your eardrum, not blow your eardrums out, but it'll blow you away with this loud ad. So that is a unfortunate situation that occurs, but that is called it's like inside the stream, an in-stream ad. But there's another ad that is also done that you may see sometimes, is an in-feed video ad. So it'll appear on the side or when someone's searching something or in a feed, so it doesn't collide, it doesn't go in their video because people just want to skip away and watch what they're watching. So the ads that I've gotten subscribers, I've talked about the topics I want to advertise. I have done the same with my content with the music and stuff. So I think the in-stream ads were perfectly fine. I don't like you know, I don't like the in-stream ads. The feed ads are better because if someone that clicks on it wants to click on it and see what you have to say. When you go and put ads in front of people when they're just trying to watch something else is very not a good experience for users. But as I said, people want to care about cash money over caring about their product and the user experience. Eugene said I was watching something on Pluto TV and it cut out on their end. Yeah, I don't know what Pluto TV is. Oh yeah, Daily Wire with their yeah, yeah. It's like people just are trying to make some cash money. Cash money is important to make, but also it's good to have a user experience that's convenient. That's why they built the personal computer, like what, or a personal phone computer. Like y'all are on phones or whatever y'all are on. A personal computer was, they did that for a better user experience. So we could all be here and meet each other. So I think that as time goes on, there'll be more innovation and more people making different things. Blue said, just another streaming service like Timu. Well, thank you for informing me. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's like Paramount Plus. Okay, Eugene, thank you for letting me know. Seven Seas Cutlass. Scared. 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 Alright, we're going to get rid of that one. And get the Seven Seas Cutlass. That's the one we'll use later. The kids will be chill. Level 30, level 26. All right, let's get some crabs. An undead pirate. Yeah, I don't use any streaming services, but I still think that it is, people want to see those things, it's fine. But I don't really watch them. Nah, Blue, I'm going to give them Timu chills. All right, let's see if we can save this. there was a dude on this island that needed some help, and I was just moments from getting to him, but I didn't get to him in time. If he would have just stayed a little bit, like for a moment longer, I would have gotten to him. Oh, Pluto and Fubo for old shows. Oh, I like old shows, and that's a reason to get it. Hello, Greg. Gregatron. Good to see you. Oh, and Kaz. Oh, what a wonderful surprise to see both of you. All right. So, basically, we're talking about streaming services, and I was talking about my trials I was watching today, and I was keeping up with, and I thought it was very good to, it was a good day. We had a good time with the chat and managing people around. We're kind of talking about anime a little bit with one of the shows that's being taken off Netflix, and that is very unfortunate, but it has to do with a licensing agreement that they had. So, and Blue says, "What's good, gang?" Yo, Blue, welcome to the chat. Glad you're here. the gig. Oh, I see the word now. The giggly troll has not called in our show yet. Scared. Nor has the giggly troll appeared in chat. Yeah, so on the show, it was like they called in and they're telling ABL like, you know, giggling and asking him some questions, and then she got off the phone. It's like, come on now, what's going on? All right, I'm gonna be using the Atiok. So yeah, the giggly troll, being kind of being cringe. That was funny, and then the troll got off the phone. It's like, what on earth? It's like, what on earth? And the troll gets off the phone. Let's see, go to K. It was funny. It could have been a bad word caller. All right. So an ABL show, you'll have these idiots that will call in and say the N word to him or say some kind of bad word to him. And we thought that it may have been a troll like that, but the person didn't say anything exactly. So we weren't really certain about who it was, but that's what it's basically seemed like to us. Yeah, on Greg Atron's channel, he did clip it. Yes, it was funny. Yeah, that troll was hilarious. So it's like it was. I called into the show, the close the show. One of the last callers of the show, and I had a good call. Then I went and sat down, and I saw there's this giggly lady on the phone acting all giggly, and I just couldn't I thought it was hilarious and asking what he thinks of the economy and acting kind of like condescending, kind of goofy and silly. It was funny, and then you know he ended it, and it just seemed like a bad word type caller that was going to say some stupid word on the show. And you have people that will say things, to him that try to ask him out or say, the N word or some stupid stuff. And as I said, some people try to be flirty. Yeah, and I think ABO was flattered. I think he was flattered. He seemed flattered. At the same time, I think he was not too certain exactly who it was, or maybe it was a. He just seemed like he had mixed feelings. It may have been a bad word caller. Then he thought, oh, maybe it's somebody that likes the show, and he was kind of like he liked that. So I do think he felt like a combination of emotions. Right, Shelly. Right. Good suggestion. Oh, Kaz, it was on ABL show. It was Wednesday, and it was at the end of the show when there was a caller that was calling in. Yeah, yeah. I should play the clip. And also, ABL talks to Ivan. Yeah, Ivan, he always likes to start tripping out all the time. And yeah, that's really entertaining when he calls in. Yeah, he seemed flattered. I like the clip that you took. Yeah, very good clip. I am annihilating this enemy. Yeah, so I think that that troll got everybody in the chat laughing hysterically, asking about the economy and giggling. It's like ABL's like, well, we're going out with this, like, and he seemed pretty chill, and his patience, but he wasn't like mad or anything. It was kind of like it was a clown. But like the guy that called him before me, that was talking about his mom being abusive and all, that was just so crazy. That was so crazy. And about the narcissism and stuff. I mean, I knew Extra Ill was not a happy camper with that call. Absolutely cringe. Oh, I know, I know. I thought, like, I'm like, wait a minute. I had to go back and rewatch it too. She also said, "What do you think about the tariffs?" Oh yeah, I remember that. I was like, "Come on," and the way she was saying it. Yeah, what a mess. Absolutely. All right, Eugene, you be blessed too. Thank you for coming and spending time with us. Right, and she could have been a caller that was not trying to troll, and she was extremely nervous, and she, yeah, it could have been her first time. She couldn't hold her composure. Could have had too much emotions in her. Yeah, thank you, Kaz, for the nice birthday wishes to him. About to defeat this monster. Shelly says that yes, that was a sad. That was sad. He's got to let the past go. Anger just deletes the soul. Absolutely. Greg said that man needs to forgive his mama. Counseling with ABL. Yeah. All right. All right. This is the nice shore, the nice green sea. Yeah. So basically, yeah, I think callers can be nervous and stuff. And I remember my first call on the show. I was It was back, I believe, in 2021 or 2022, something like that. I have the date recorded. It was one of those two dates. And I was trying to call him before, but I didn't quite get it. And Charles Turner, he was the one that taught me about how to do it properly. And like what you do is you just call in thousands of times, or just over and over and over. You just call into the show over and over again. and also eventually get through. And I really, enjoyed it. So the Rapper 10,000 forgot to tell ABL something, and I told, he wanted me to call in, and I was going to do it. And this is back right before, no, this was in 2020, I believe. Or 21. It was 2021. You know what? I'm going to look up the hurricane date, and I'll tell you what it was. All right, so it was 2021 is when I did my first call in ABL. All right, so it was in 2021, and it was a couple of weeks before this hurricane happened and knocked over the tree. Shelly, he passed away. Yeah, so basically, and I was telling him some things with my cousin I was talking about, and it was on that pathway that the hurricane knocked the tree over, and that caused our, tree to ruin the pathway. And it made this very nice pathway for a few years, in like 2017 and 18. It was a nice place where you could just walk on a leveled, even ground, and it was high up, and with a shingle path, and people. It was very nice. It was built off the border of the swing that I used to go on as a teen and a kid, and it was like the borderline of the swing. And he was, very good call. I enjoyed my time calling him. But after 5 years later, the tree is we kept the tree leaned over. We kept the tree, and now the tree has moved and raised up, and that pathway's back. It's buried under twigs and debris, but the it's back. Yeah, storms are very dangerous, and I'll talk about the Chicago cop. Rest in peace. Facts. Facts. So basically, the Chicago cop during the summer, around the summer of last year, or a little bit before the summer, close to not at this point, but close to a year ago, he disappeared. And when he disappeared, he put me at the end of the show because I was the second to last caller. And I remember the a lot of times the Chicago cop would make commentary on things that I'd say. We do need a completion with all of his calls. I agree. I agree. And basically, what happened was he would make commentary on things that I'd say sometimes, and he would be good to, he'd be really cool. He'd say different things and about things I'd say or things about what was going on and about his experience as. Oh yeah, Kaz, absolutely, absolutely. And with the Chicago cop, I mean, he would talk about his experience in the force. It was very good, good man. And I was downstairs, which was called the office, which was an office that they used for many decades. And after Katrina, it looks kind of like a medieval castle with the stone bricks on it. They didn't really like redo it, but they put different things in there. But they didn't like you used to have like a walls in there, kind of like inside of a ship, like a brown wood walls. Now it just looks like a inside of a castle, and well, the house is like a fortress. And then I was next door over there, and I'd call in, and I would eat dinner very very fast or leave some of it, and because it was like around the dinner time, and then I'd go over there, and I'd call in, and we would have the second to last caller. And there is a point, one of the last few calls I remember the Chicago cop was he gave me a shout out about something I said, and chat was glad to see was glad he gave me a shout out. He did drop some gems, absolutely. And what the Chicago cop did was he will always will be remembered on ABL live and the contribution that he did to the channel, and that he will go down in history for that. And he truly is the greatest. I remember I would be down there. I was always glad to, it was nice and a cool setting. It's kind of like an old fashioned room we have, and I like to see it. I like the different lights we have. It's kind of like LED lights, not LED lights. Well, yeah, it's like this regular fluorescent lights, kind of like an office lighting, but it's also kind of dim, kind of like a noir setting in there. I liked it. As I said, I have good memories listening to Chicago Cop. Throughout the different seasons, it was cold sometimes, it was warm, and I always will think that, which y'all would agree with me, that we don't have him anymore to call into the show, and also then there was a point where he didn't call in, and then he would take me as the last call of the show, and I was very moved by that and honored. And but the Chicago Cop is the greatest last caller of the show of all time, and he was amazing at his commentary, and he will always will be known for the being a final caller. And I said, very honored and humbled that. I remember that. I remember when I would talk to ABL, and sometimes he wouldn't always have the time because all the callers to get in certain things that I was saying, and then I noticed he kept moving me closer and closer towards the end of the show. And some of my fans didn't quite understand it, but he was moving me in a position where I would be at the last caller, closer to the last caller of the show, and then there I am in the last caller of the show. So I thought it was, I said I'm glad, and I like the chat likes what I have to say, and I appreciate that. But yeah, he was very good at his commentary on the show. He was not putting up nonsense with things that's happening in the news and stuff. He'll say what he thinks. So yeah, shout out to Chicago Cop. I will miss his calls, and I give him a shout out. You know, because I like to, and chat does a great job as well as keeping his memory alive. Because we didn't know what happened to him, and ABL kept saying over and over again, Chicago Cop, if you're listening, you have fans, wanting to know how you're doing, and I would sometimes even join in with this, and I would say that Chicago Cop, I look forward to his return, and the new calls that he'll say on the show when he comes back. We didn't know exactly what happened. And I also appreciated what he was saying, and I would say that, like, appreciate what the Chicago cop was saying, and that we always kind of thought he was watching, or he was like maybe, for not just not calling in, but was in the chat. So ABL and I would kind of say things and direct it at talking to him. But I thought he may have passed away, but we didn't. No one knew anything. We were looking for relatives or somebody in the chat that would know something about him, but somebody at some point confirmed a couple of months later that they found information, and ABL knew his name, but his name has been, obviously was sequestered, and who he is, he's passed away. It was sequestered information. So, I'm glad we finally got closure about it, and I think I mentioned at one of the calls that, it's good that we have some closure about, what happened at some point. We'll find out. This was in 2024. That's where he went. He was earlier in 2024. Then he went missing at some point within spring or summer. I'd say more around summer. And you're right, Greg. He's watching from heaven. Yes. And he's still with us in spirit. And he was watching in heaven. Absolutely. And I'm glad that, he called into the show and that he was, who's with us. Yeah, thank you, Blue. Amen. And also Greg as well. Kaz says Alien Ariel used to live in New Orleans. His dad used to be the police chief back in the day. There before Hurricane Katrina, or after, now retired. Alright, thank you for letting me know. I had a girlfriend, and her father was the captain of the NOLA police, but he had three daughters. And yeah, so my girlfriend's dad at that time her father was the captain of it. So that was pretty cool. And it looked cool. He had all kinds of like badges and stuff on. Really cool. All right, so basically, so I want to understand. So you to understand something, Cass, is that the Chicago cop has passed away, so just making clear he's not with us anymore. But the show that I'm referring to is called, like, you can look up on YouTube, Anthony Brian Logan. That's his channel name, and he does these call-ins. And I don't always get in sometimes because there's a high frequency of callers, but most of the time I'm the last caller of the show. I I humbly succeeded the Chicago cop, which is he's unreplaceable. But I am now the last caller of the show, and I'm also in the chat over there. So he's a black conservative political commentary person, political commentary, culture, and stuff like that. So that's the channel I'm referring to. Rest in peace, the Chicago cop. Though he is not, he is with us in spirit, in heaven, but he's not with us on this earth anymore. Like in the physical, like how you and I are here. My last live on there, Casimirio, Kaz. My last live on there was Wednesday. The last live that he did, which was he'll be live tomorrow on Saturday, but the last live that I was on was the most recent live that he did. It was last Wednesday, but it's the most recent one. And towards the end of the show, it's a 3 hour long thing. I'm towards the end, and that's where I called in and talked about some different things. Oh, Boomhauer is awesome, and his brother Rebel, without a reason, his brother, I'm friends with him too. Yeah, they're very cool group, cool brothers, and yeah, Rebel's awesome. I mean, Rebel's awesome, and Boomhauer, he's awesome too. I like to talk to him about my garden and talk to him about the different things that are going on with me, and also what's going on with him. He makes excellent calls in the show. Yeah, and also Kaz, Nunya Business and Shell, from Smoke and Scan, they're on there on ABL Live. Also, now there's Shelly in the chat. Shelly's someone different than Shell. They're two different people. Yeah, and the water's a little bit different colored because of the St. Patrick's Day theme they're having in the game. Fire arg. Yeah, the Chicago cop, and people all the time say that they miss him, and I miss him too. And I think about it because I was always I felt another type of closeness. Y'all on the show felt a closeness to him, and also I felt a closeness to the Chicago cop too, and if I might say, in a very unique way, because I felt like, and I always feel this kinsmanship with the other callers, because although we're not together like in a room, we're like together in the show calling in, and the Chicago cop, him and I were the last two, and I always felt like there's like a closeness to him, and he would used to, you know, we would make commentary on each other's calls, and when he was gone, it was a very sad thing. But we all, you know, death is just something, that a destiny we all share, and it's dark, but it's quite true. And that's why I always like to just live each day as if it were the last day of my life, because life, tomorrow isn't guaranteed. And I'm glad that I and the Chicago Cop and everybody else that was involved with this YouTube saga did what we did. Because there's many other people that never did it, that we don't even know, that didn't go into the YouTube Wild West. And I am glad that I was in this time, place, and space, and I'm glad that he was too. And that's all we could do. And that's an important thing. And I think I cherish the memories and cherish the present as well, and the mark that he made. And also, I like calling in, giving my commentary, and the fans in the chat. So as I said, we both, you know, we all can just see that it's a story of life and it has its ups and downs. Like what Damon was saying, Kaz, in one of the streams is about what, like the Lion King, the circle of life. It's just, it's what happens. And like, we'll see on, we'll see chases, Kaz, and we'll see people sometimes eat every meal like it's your last. That's true. There's some people that don't have a meal in this country. Surprisingly, there's people that don't even have a meal. And there's homeless veterans. And there's people in Africa and other in Timbuktu that don't have food. So yeah, eat every meal as if it were your last. I agree with that as well. So Kaz, we've seen people get unalived or deleted, whatever people like to use. We've seen crazy chases, and yeah, it's a rough world out there. But that's why we do what we, you know, every day just do as if it was the last day. That's why with the trial chat, I give it my all because it's like I want to because I just and another thing with the trial chats I'm so passionate about. I like seeing people with different political views because I'm in the political ABL's in the political hemisphere, and Damon isn't political. He isn't really political, but sometimes will dabble into it. But I really like the people of different political religions, sexualities, all uniting together in the trial chats for a common cause. I love seeing that. That's why I love the trial chats so much, and I like seeing how people are from other countries see the trials. And I just feel it's a great service to humanity and a great service to the country and to my fellow man to participate in that. And it's like people need to see this stuff and how it works. And it needs to be, exposed. But people in these other countries don't do that. And it's just the way our country is, where people can see what's going on with their government, or what I like to say is gooberment. And also with y'all over at ABL, the same thing. I give it my all as well to give you all the content over there that y'all like to see, and to talk about what's going on politically and dispute those things. Also at Smoke and Scan over there, I do it as well, and people like what I have to say in the chat. So this whole YouTube career that started in 2020 for me, my first call on ABL was 2021. I just something else I gotta mention about me is that so I had this. Some of y'all know about this. I had this very nice girlfriend back in high school that I was with for a few years afterwards, and also what I did was it didn't work out. We kind of went our separate ways because of different life directions, and I was going to dedicate myself to this YouTube streams that I was on, and I was popping up into every so often. And nearly 5 years later, I've made a great impact. So I'm glad that relationship. She was very cool, but I'm glad it didn't work out, and I'm glad that it led me here. ABL, he was the one that taught me about how to stream. As people kept on telling me they wanted me to stream, they kept begging me to stream. And he taught me live on air during the call with the chat watching how to do it. It was crazy. And all the people on YouTube that stream, I didn't want to necessarily be a streamer. I love streaming. I didn't want to be a streamer. I didn't become a streamer out of ambition. I just did it because a result of other people's actions that want to see me do it. And he was the one that taught me how to do it. Very different from everybody else that I was taught by ABL. He's over 1 million subscribers. This person taught me how to do it. That's crazy to me. My YouTube story. And look, I have a few subscribers. I'm thankful for them. I'm influencing elsewhere also, but I just really like the story where God has taken me. And also, Greg says the giggly troll might end up being my new favorite caller someday. Hopefully, she calls in more, and I'll have to agree with you on that because she was just absolutely hilarious. It was so adorable, adorable troll. And Greg says YouTube is fun. It can be addicting. It can be addicting, absolutely. I remember when I'm in some chats and people don't hear me, like I'll be in the trial chat or somewhere else, and I don't respond to them right away. They get really angry at me because they go into like a like a little withdrawal, and I'm like, look, I was typing, give me a moment, or if I didn't see something, I just saw it. Everybody's got to chill, and YouTube can be addicting. Scared, scared. Yeah. No, Shelly, I have not. Have you been on one? Let's show this island. Oh, Kaz. Oh, thank you. Thank you for liking my call. I'm glad that you appreciate my call on the show. That was quite quick. Thank you. Yes, golf and guns is in there also. Also, earlier, my friend Gam Catches Up was live. I saw parts of it. He did a good stream. He likes to create 3D models and paints them, and he talks about different stuff. That's another good YouTuber. And I helped him put a stream together. Yeah, Gam Catches Up is another good channel. You know, I'll say about YouTube is I think that YouTubers collaborating and shouting out each other rather than competing is better because that's what I like doing here, and that's why I don't mind other channels we talked about, and I like talking about other channels, especially those that helped me out and just because YouTubers, I encourage people to be YouTubers and shout out YouTubers. So that's why I love about YouTube and the community. I encourage everybody to make their own channels. So that's what I love about the collaboration. I want to collaborate, and I like having giving people shout outs. And I don't want all the competition and all. I want people to just, I don't mind people hearing about other channels, and we all are just like united. That's what I like. You know, cooperation instead of competition. Kaz says, Alien, so if I go about a year ago and listen to them, will the Chicago police officer be on those as well? Kaz, yes, about a year ago. Yes. He should be, you should be able to find him. He would be the last caller. And at some point, whenever I have time, I'll go look back to see if I can also see myself some of his calls. I miss listening to his calls. So yeah, about a year ago. Yeah. Oh, Shelly. Okay, understood. Thank you. All right, a fantastic 4 weeks, she said. All right. You're welcome, Kaz. You're welcome. And I learned stuff from Damon. Damon was Smoke and Scan. He was the first YouTuber I saw live stream in 2020 during the riots, and I was still talking to my girlfriend distantly then, and I told her about what was going on from what I saw from Damon's stream and sent her some funny memes about it and the goofy stuff. She saw it. Like didn't she didn't I didn't tell her about this YouTube stream to go check out his channel. I was just new to it, new to seeing his channel, but I was watching. Well, sure, I was sending her the memes about it, and basically I watched him first, and I saw Stinks. He was a little squirt. He was a little junior, and he's all big now. Stinks is his black and white cat, and I really liked the stream. And then later on 2020, during the 2020 election, ABL, I saw him, and when the Orange Man lost, or whatever happened, and then I would see ABL pop up here and there. I was talking to my friend Ross on the phone. I saw it was at night, and I see ABL pop up, and I'm like, oh, he's live. And I was in there in the chat, and I remember this is back when the tree was perpendicular and it wasn't on its side, and I used to walk in this beautiful pathway I invented. I mean, my relatives, my great grandparents added things to the house. They moved the house forward, so and then I added like pathways to it. So it's a generational house. And I listened to him. And I listened to the callers. I never knew I'd be a caller or one of the most, if I may say humbly, one of the most essential callers on the show, one of the top callers. And I enjoyed it, and I would see different people in the chat, and I would tag them. I would talk to them. I felt in my gut to talk to these different people, and I made a friend group. And Miss Adams and Atomic Tabasco and many other people over time became my close friends. And Atomic came to my channel. She was the first one to come to my channel, and her and I are into similar stuff and like spooky stuff, things like that. And yeah, as I said, remember the Wednesday where I was talking to Rapper 10,000 and Charles Turner Jr. and it was Wednesday, and I was like under a tree, like walking, and then I texted the girlfriend. This was kind of like long distance at this point. It was like very long distance, but it worked for a while. It worked for quite a while. Contrary to what y'all would think, she was very loyal and cool and into me. So, yeah, as I said, she was cool people. And I sent her a funny meme about the coyote, because that's where they are in Colorado. They have those there. That's where she likes going. And then Easter Sunday, I sent her a message about it was a bunny with a cat. It was Easter Sunday, and I saw the message was not delivered. So on iMessage, you'll see a message is delivered, and underneath the message I sent was not delivered. That's a sign that someone was blocked. I was blocked. But as I said, anything's possible. And I'm sure if I asked her, she said she wouldn't have done it. But as I said, we were at a distance. She was doing some things at college, going in a different direction. I was going in a different direction. And although she told me she wanted me to stay in touch with her for forever, and she would not avoid me, or anything like that. She was very, clear she wanted, to talk to me. But as I said, I don't know. This life happens, and the pandemic happened, and I don't know. We just went our separate ways. But even if whatever transpired, I wanted to dedicate my entire life and time to this cause of YouTube. And as I said, it appeared, clinically speaking, that I was blocked. And if there's some other reason, I've not heard from her in a couple of years. But as I said, if it were to have worked out or not, I couldn't have continued that because I want to continue this YouTube stuff. So either way, if that happened or not, at some point I would have had to just pursue this. So I'm glad it happened, and using that to fuel me, because you go through emotions that are upsetting, but I was use that energy for this stuff. And look, I got all these people in my chat. I had this little box, and I see these people in my chat. I have over 1,000 subscribers, and I'm on all these channels. Some of them have 1 million. That I'm people hear me all the time, so it was good. And Easter, and also what happened after that was during my exodus, I listened to the Stoics. I will remember I was on Twitter a lot, and Kaz follows me on Twitter, and I was just kind of like, although I believe in God and the Bible, and that's all I need, I was also interested to look at direction and philosophy. And a lot of these influencers were talking about Stoicism. And I saw this completion on YouTube that was re uploaded recently. But on 2021, I just say 21, I saw YouTube, and we were talking, they're showing us, this video was showing everybody the completion of the Stoic philosophers by this very amazing British narrator. His voice is amazing with inspirational music, and I listened to that, and this is like the time of after Easter, into that, like, so the moon cycle was similar to Easter's moon cycle, the full moon, and it was like, and some of the lights were out, thankfully, and I was just meditating in the moon at night, and I was like listening to this stuff, walking around and things like that, and I memorized a lot of the quotes, and it helped me out, and I learned some new stuff. And had this website a long time ago around that time where I talked about tea, but then I don't do the website anymore. I just do YouTube because YouTube is much better. And that's the website thing. Is how I learned about the ads, where I advertised about my theories on aliens and stuff like that. So that, and I pursued Smoke and Scan and ABL and all these many other streams, and I found Law and Crime in 2022 when Independent went out. Yes, I was moonbathing. when I in 22 when Independent went out, I went to Law and Crime, and I'm this very, I may say humbly, the unofficial mascot of Law and Crime, and or this chat, just like Kaz. You see me on Smoke and Skin and Popular, ABL and Popular, over there as well, on Law and Crime Network, Law and Crime Trials. People love me over there, and people that are not even politically aligned with me. People that are not the same religion as me. People of different sexualities and things like that. All united for the cause of the trials, and also think that my commentary is great on there. So, as I said, God blessed me, and I'll tell you this. My friend that I talked about aliens with, him and I were talking about, he didn't think the relationship was going to work out, and he thought that I was just going to be very traumatized, and if this didn't work, and I knew it for a long time, and people don't usually do well with breakups, and he didn't think it was going to work out because it was just so distant. And I told him that I believe it'll be okay, and I believe that if it doesn't work out, God has my back, and he'll make something amazing out of it. But I have to go through this. And look at me now. And I spread his ideas about aliens all over the world. Because whatever Timu skills that I have, I was able to advertise that everywhere. And he is majoring in history. He's going to be a teacher. I've not talked to him in a couple of years. He doesn't even know about the breakup that happened. That's how long ago I haven't talked to him. But yeah, and God helped me. And rather than being angry at God or angry, and Blue wants to talk about at some point the anime. Well, Blue, we will talk about that. Absolutely. I'll talk about my favorite anime. In a little bit, we'll talk about it before we end the show. So that is, I'm thankful for that. As I said, God and the different philosophers and things, many other people, not just the Stoic philosophers, but everywhere. I learned all the different information. I learned a lot from Damon himself, from Smoke and Scan. I learned stuff from ABL and all these different people. So yeah, it was just meant to happen that way. And I've helped other people that were going through hard times, and it makes sense why I went through that. So yeah, I'm so glad that didn't work out, and I love my fans. I have a lot of lady fans too. You know, that's pretty cool, and I have a lot of cool dude fans. So as I said, I appreciate all of you. And I never had 1,000. I was always very popular at school, but it was a small school, and I was well liked everywhere. But I never had 1,000 followers anywhere. So just I know there's not a lot, but I think a big. It's important for me to see that, you know. And hey, if I would have continued that relationship or been with someone else, I don't know if I would have been on ABL as much, calling in, or been at Smoking Scan as much. And all these people in these lives that I've touched was more important. Okay, all of the people and the things that I've been involved in, even with Johnny Depp, helping his reputation after the Amber Heard thing, all that was very important. You know, and in the trial realm, the Johnny Depp trial was got me popular in the trial community. So that was really cool. And I always liked him in all these different movies that I saw. So, and I knew this dude during the Johnny Depp trial who was claiming that he was in 21 Jump Street as an extra, and he was a taxi driver also, and he would see Johnny homeless, and he would see him. I have crewmates and a fan and fans, crewmate, captain, and fan. Yeah, absolutely. I have crewmates, and I have that as well. Yes. And he was saying that he was positive about Johnny at first, and he was just saying that the fans just flamed the fire. Yes, yes, absolutely. Very good analogy. And with Johnny, he was telling me that he worked with him, he met him and stuff, and how in Hollywood you'll have women that will try to date the older ones or date some very famous man, regardless of age, and to take advantage of them. And he told me that he saw that in Hollywood a lot. And he was talking about I said I like Willy Wonka, and he said Gene Wilder was a good Willy Wonka, which I do agree with. He was brilliant in that one. And also Willy Wonka, I like the Johnny Depp one as well. And we're talking about it, and he would ask me about how's Johnny doing, and he was like, "Oh, it doesn't look like it's going good for Johnny today." But the whole case entirety, not just about Johnny, like the whole trial was going to go in his favor. We were very confident Johnny was going to win. And then one day he came in, and I convinced him to understand why Amber Heard, she may be young and all, but it was wrong what she did to him and slandering his name. Blue could understand about people not comparing apples to oranges, but there's evil people in this world that are traitors. And I see what you're saying, Kaz. I'll get to you in a moment. And basically, he just was like, okay, with Amber Heard, that that she's doing this stuff and slandering him and stuff like that. The next day, this man does a 180 on me, and he says how Johnny is this gangster, and he's this, has all of his rings, and he's like into the drugs, and he's drunk and stupid, and Amber Heard's this brilliant young woman, and him and I had a debate, and the chat was going wild, and we were just going at it, not fighting, but we're debating. And the chat was going so fast. It was hundreds of thousands of people in there. And we had all these different people in there. And Byzantine Ladybug, which I brought her to this channel in 22. Yeah, she loved my commentary in there, and she subscribed to me. This was at the Independent, though. So yeah, that was some wild times. You are not knives, that's true. Yep, evil people in powerful positions. Yep, yep. Kaz says, we at least ahead of the game with knowledge, knowing what we know with World and Great Awakening. Amen. Absolutely, Kaz. Because anybody could be slandered. Anything could happen to anybody, so I think everybody deserves a fair trial. And, yeah, evil people in powerful positions, absolutely. Because it's like, hey, now it's like all the stuff that's all twisted and going on in the world. They're absolutely doing evil things, and it's not right. And then I was wondering because I was like, wow, Easter Sunday for something like that to happen to me, I was like, that's just insanity. But now I know it's like there's Easter, a good holiday, and my thing was right after Easter. Then I felt inspired by it. It was right on Easter Sunday. It was a good thing I saw later. All right, my ship's different looking. Bonjour. You see, it's a French ship. When you go dock at either the French island or the Spanish island, your your flag will temporarily change on your ship. So that's something very very cool. See, it'll do this sometimes. Scared. On this game, I was a very high ranking sailor, and like to have like a mariner, I was very high ranking in the game before Disney took down the original version. That's why I'm so good at sailing the ship because I'm just very skilled because of like in my past. I was a high ranking. Let's see the different skill sets so I can refresh my memory. Let's see. I was it doesn't show the levels on here, but I was a high ranking like a officer level before they took it down. All right, now this is the Spanish one. Thank you, Blue. Thank you. Now look at this one. No, well that's not true. So they don't let me change to the Spanish side, but there's the Spanish one. But this is the French one. So we're gonna have to dock at an island and sail back to the Spanish one to show you all the Spanish flag. Oh, it teleported me. Alright, so I'm gonna go to Devil's Anvil. And also if you sink ships as a privateer, you can't like collect the treasure. Alright, speeding. Alright, Kaz, see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for coming. Alright, Greg, thank you. Alright, this is the Devil's Anvil. Yeah, good night, Kaz. This is a special area. This is another pirate cave. This is from the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. What all that treasure? Scared. Scared. All this treasure. And he gives tattoos if you're a mariner whatever. He'll give you tattoos for that if you want them, and that's the governor, the governor, Governor Swan, Governor Swan, right? And this is Barbosa, the undead pirate. He actually looks really realistic there. Yeah, he's in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie. He's one of my favorite characters besides Jack Sparrow and Elizabeth and Will. And this is the monkey that cannot be deleted. Observe. Alright, look at that. Shoot the monkey. Nothing happens to him. He can't die. The invincible monkey. And then we'll try this one. Look at that. Well, that doesn't work, and also there. That doesn't work. Monkey is completely invincible. Just like the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, his monkey is just invincible. Let's see. What's the voodoo doll do? Alright. Monkey's invincible. Incredible. Because in the Pirates of the Caribbean, he was known as the Invincible. You know, he was invincible. Alright. I love the movies too. Blue. And I'm glad that we got to see that in our childhood. Well, this cave is like the pool rooms. Scared. I love the train sounds. Alright. Oh, I'll show this again for people that aren't here, but we'll go and look at this island. I gotta show y'all something. And then we'll look at some things and eventually go to the other part with Vash, my favorite anime. I believe it's Cutthroat Island, I think. May take me a moment to exactly decipher which island it is, but it'll be, it should be quick. If I remember correctly. I don't think it's Cutthroat Island. No. It's over this other area. I see it out in the distance. Alright, we're steaming forward. Because they'll have these different beasts from the movie. Scared. Right. Alright, Greg. See you later. Thank you for staying up for a little while and talking to us. I'll be live tomorrow in the evening on Friday. I believe this is it. No. I'm not too sure. Not too sure. Is this it? No. It looks kind of similar to the island. Let's see if I could find it. Okay, looking at the map. Might be at this one. Islands kind of look like Super Mario World. Low key. Oh, okay, Greg. Understood. Oh, we got some plunder. This one in question right here. Okay. Well, it's like I wasn't even having the window selected, so any moves that I was making didn't matter. Alright. Oh, also, I want to say, like, this is the island. See a dude's fighting an undead person? You see, that's from Davy Jones's crew right there. This is Davy Jones's crew. All right. All right. I took what I wanted from the treasure chest. All right. This is a. I was in this cave with Sam's O Silver. We were in this game, and like on New Year's Eve, he was helping me combat these enemies. All right, you're gonna see something pretty interesting in this cave. The Queen Anne's Revenge has been seen in the Caribbean. You see, it looks kind of like similar to Davy Jones' ship. The barnacle things. I'm scared. All right. You see that one? That's from Davy Jones's crew. Let's see if we make it. I'm scared. I'm scared. Uh-oh. Let's see. That's the dead end. Just trying to remember how to do this. Oh, I was going the right direction. I just didn't see this little thing right here. I'm getting a little bit mixed up. Okay. It's a giant system. All these barnacles. I'm scared. Uh-oh. Ah, they got me. Okay. So, let's do this. I've been through there before. My most recent video was an interesting project because I have these 80s, what do you call them, instruments, and I was able to put together the I did like a an 80s alien game like theme song, and that was really cool. It sounds kind of like Pink Floyd to me. It was cool instruments to put together. And then with the AI, I created the other mechanisms in it, where you had the picture. So like the sound effects, the music is from me. The music's always from me. But the some of the images, some AI stuff is pretty cool. And also, I'm going to be starting working on the Cotton Candy Planet. That sound effect I gotta work on. It's way out there that way. And my dude has the clock. I'm scared. Oh, we'll go here. The Cuba. It's been a while since we've been over there. And then Cuba will sail out that way. But they put me right at the same spot I was before. Grr. Just try to make it a little bit. How about this? We'll take the smaller ship. Because it's going to try to put me in the same spot I was before. Alright. I did something wrong again. Oh, whatever. It's just it wants to use this ship. Well, I'm at Cuba now. Okay, that's good. This will be easier. Point it over here. I'm using the map and the map lines to coordinate the voyage to the island. And I don't know if I'm going to make it this time. But if we don't make it to the part I want to show y'all, we'll do it on the next one. Where am I at exactly? Oops, okay. Let's go back there. Yeah, so basically, I think that the game teaches, also it's like a historical game. It teaches good history. Now, something I find interesting is I've been talking about the daikon plant because it's what I've been growing, and I like how I'm exhausted and too pumped for this island at once. Oh. Well, it's late where you are. We'll be looking at Vash. We're looking at that in a moment. If I can't get this how I want it, we're going to just, go right into the other thing. Okay. So with the Edo period, They ate daikon. I think that's so cool to me. The Flying Dutchman crew is here. I always wondered why in the game they didn't have Davy Jones and his crew. I'm just like, then like on New Year's I saw this cave and they had these characters from his crew. You have like this passageway. Go here. Because I didn't realize there was more than one. All right. You guys see that? That's in the Flying Dutchman. And this dude got me tied up. He has Davy Jones's symbol. They don't like to have me in the cave with them exactly. Oh. They got their voodoo on me. Alright. It's a labyrinth. Well, that one. Yeah, so this is the cave of the Flying Dutchman crew. They're all like offended that I'm in here. I'm a little bit offended that they're offended at me. Well, look, it's Patrick Star. Right there. That's Patrick Star hanging out. Damn. And then they got me again. Come on. Come on. Get out. Cut the nonsense. I'm not even trying to fight them. I'm just trying to go to this certain spot. Ooh, it's a dead end. Alright. In the pirate movie, I don't really recall them having a cave. You could see on the top they have Davy Jones's crew around, which I think is quite interesting. All right, as I said, if I can't get to this part, I'll have Sam or one of them help me exactly where we go in it to see the part. And oh, they set me on fire. Really? Come on. Okay. It looks like the alien has gone in circles. Yay. Okay. Alright, we're going to always set me on fire. again. Well, he roasted me, literally. So, yeah, basically the Flying Dutchman crew is in Pirates of the Caribbean, they're the undead. The undead crew. Oh, finally. This is what I think I want, where I want to go. Finally. And you know what I did? I just went out the other way. I didn't get to see what I wanted to see. So there you go. A brilliant, Timu alien. A moment here, because of the time restraints, I might do it like the other time when the other, because they know the cave better than I do. Hilarious. This has to be funny to watch. Like, I'm like, I found the spot, but it's not the spot. It's just the circle. Going to this passageway. I'm on fire again. And I remember, like last year, I was able to find this location very easily. So I must have just forgotten how. I forgot how to get there. But we'll show the cave a little bit more, then we'll go. Yeah, I remember that one right there. Yeah, I think I fought this one with a group of friends. But I think I've been down this route before, though. All right, it's they're getting to me. All right, yeah, yeah. Thanks. I'm just walking on fire. Alright, then go down this thing. It might be like a secret area that I don't quite recall also. It might be like some secret passageway. Go north that way. Through this direction. Because the other arrow is trying to get me out of the cave. We're trying to go further into it. Yeah, so that's the flying, but that's the Flying Dutchman crew. That's at least okay. At least, this is the part of what I have to show y'all. This is the Flying Dutchman crew from the movie. This is all of them. Like Bootstrap and all those other critters. They're all in here, and you can see a Davy Jones sign right there. Yeah, that's them. I said I think this might be the exit, like I just went out before, so you'll just bear with me. Yep, exit. All right, so that is, I once again successfully went into a circle. I just went the same pathway I did before, and came out. And that's a nice moon, a nice beach. But basically, I want to get to some other things before I end the stream. And I could just do this for hours and hours. But as I say, with time constraints, we'll pick up this on the Friday evening stream and other streams as well. And I'll show you all the parts of the cave that I want more. Okay, I showed you all the cave that I wanted y'all to see, and I showed you all the characters that I wanted y'all to see. There is just a certain part that I wanted you to see specifically, but it seems quite sequestered, and we'll get to that on another one because of time restraints. But yes, I did get to the right island, and I showed you all the Davy Jones's crew. So that's something that I did get to show y'all. And the cave and how it's, has all the barnacles and stuff like Davy Jones's crew has. So that I did show y'all half of what I want y'all to see. All right. So that's a beautiful moon. And you see that guy, because he's, that guy, he was on the Davy Jones's crew from the movie. All right. So now we'll end it. And go to the other part. Okay. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to be going to the other section of what we're going to talk about. Probably about some things with Vash and some things with the other stuff. Oh, there we go. Alright, shout out to the spaceship cats. All right. So one thing about the Edo period is from 1603 to 1880s to 1867, the final period of traditional Japan, a time of internal and peace, political stability, and economic growth under the shogunate military dictatorship founded by Tokugawa Ieyasu. Shout out to your dog Sheba, and shout out to Bubbles. Oh, the city's name was formally changed to Tokyo, meaning Eastern Capital, in 1868, when the nearly 700-year shogunate period came to an end, and the new emperor Meiji moved his residence there. You know, Japan and its traditions are so fascinating. All right. Also, something that I want to share, which I'll be sharing tomorrow with the early group that y'all probably will be at as well. So, tomorrow around 7 p.m. Central on Friday, I'm going to talk about this, but I'll show you all that are here as a sneak peek. Wow, I didn't know there's a Daikon Island. That's something I gotta look at. Nirma Daikon radish is said to have come from the Edo period when the fifth shogun Tsuun Ayoshi Tokugawa visited Nirmaya, Nir-Ima, to recuperate from his illness and ordered his men to obtain and grow daikon radish from seed found in Owari region in central Japan. We'll read more about that tomorrow. More about that tomorrow. Owari, thank you. The Ronin and Samurai were forced to be allies together. Thank you. Thank you for the help, Blue. So that's something quite fascinating. So it's so cool. Although I've grown so many plants that have been grown for centuries and centuries before we were here, it's so cool that I grew this plant, from Sarah's suggestion. That was from over there, for such an ancient history to it. It's so admirable. And something else we'll be looking into tomorrow. I'll look at for a second. Just a little sneak peek. Daikon Island is a volcanic island in the middle of Sak Umai, a brackish a volcanic lake between Totari and Shimane prefectures in Japan. Island it's like this is an English word I'm getting mixed up. Administered as part of Mat-Su, Shimane. Daikon Jima takes its name from daikon, the large white East Asian radish. The island was, however, known throughout Japanese history as Tako Shima, meaning Octopus Island. We'll talk more about that and also the Edo period daikon tomorrow. Now we'll talk about Vash. Thank you, Blue. That means a lot to me. Thank you. And you are great in the chat. I really appreciate the laughs that you have with us here. All right. The appearances of Vash. The origins of Vash and his twin brother, Million's Knives, are explored in flashbacks from Trigun manga when the children live in the spaceship containing the last few surviving humans who have fled Earth due to its lack of resources. The two are identified as plants since they age at a slower rate. They are raised by a researcher named Rem Savarim in a spaceship colony. Though Rem's education, Vash gains a newfound respect for life, but his brother seeks the mayhem in mankind. Knives distributes the navigation system, triggering an alarm and waking the dormant passengers. When Knives sabotages the fleet, putting it on a crash course with Planet No Man's Land. Planet No Man's Land. Rem puts him and Vash in an escape pod to save them. Wow, that's really heartbreaking. Rem chooses to stay behind, amputating Vash's left arm in a fight. Wow. Vash is found by a group of humans who construct his cybernetic arm. Knives also attempts to activate Vash's dormant supernatural powers, the angel arm, but the plan backfires and the blast obliterates the city of July, leaving 200,000 people without food or shelter. The incident earns Vash's reputation as the humanoid typhoon. When Trigun manga begins, Vash travels around the planet searching for Knives. He befriends Merle Strife and Millie Thompson, two agents of the Bernard Delay Insurance Society, sent to evaluate claims regarding the dangers he has caused and whether or not his bounty should be canceled. He also meets a priest named Nicholas D. Wolfwood who fights alongside him. Vash is targeted by Legato. Blue Summers. Ah. Alright. From the Gung Ho Guns assassins who are followers of Knives. After Legato confronts Vash, Knives reappears. A shocked Vash requests eviction for Merle and Millie because of the danger his brother presents. Wolfwood. Right. Knives then tries to use Vash's angel arm to destroy another city, but Vash resists and redirects the blast upward, where it hits one of No Man's moons. In the Trigun Maximum manga, which occurs 2 years after the moon's destruction, Wolfwood discovers Vash relating Knives' exploits in regards to mankind's extinction. In facing Legato's group, Vash fears that they have discovered the location of his home, resulting in deaths of his friends. Vash learns a ship has made contact with Earth and will be arriving to save them. No Man's Land. Knives uses his powers as a plant to shut down the satellites used to communicate with Earth. Vash learns of the severed connection and guesses its cause. Gung Ho guns appeared the gauntlet. That was a tragic arc. A very heartbreaking one at the same time. A survivor of July seeks revenge on Vash, but is deleted by his partners, as Knives ordered them not to kill their target, but tormenting him. Vash and Wolfwood continue traveling to Knives' base. However, Vash is defeated and restrained by Legato. Wolfwood, revealed as a member of the Gung Ho Guns, rescues Vash. Vash rejoins Wolfwood, who fights with Gung Ho Gun Livio the Death, which Wolfwood dies. Livio, Wolfwood's childhood friend, joins Vash, cause while grieving for his friend's death. As Knives approaches the city with the Ark, a floating ship designed to leave humans without any resources and end life on the planet. Knives really he really wants to destroy everything. He must be the aliens behind War of the Worlds. He's a Decepticon. He's behind the sonic boom thing that takes out power. He was behind Hiroshima and Nagasaki. He was behind me tripping over a branch one day. Yeah, so Knives really is a savage. Really. You see how Vash and Knives could go through something and they both express themselves in totally polar opposite ways. Knives begins dueling with Vash throughout his past battles that required him to use the Angel's arm. The Angel's arm reminds me of the Thanos snap. Vash has transformed into a regular human, signified by his blonde hair, now turned black. Vash breaks his pacifist vow by killing Legato to protect Livio from last Gung Ho guns. Knives also starts losing the powers he stored with the Ark through Vash's actions. Vash then saves his brother from the vengeful ships from Earth, Following his defeat, Knives uses his last power to help his weakened brother by creating a small fruit tree to feed him after his brother's death. Vash continues his travels on the planet with Merle and Miley. Wow. You could say that Vash went through even more, but look what he was able to do. Adaptations. In anime, No Man's Land is an unnamed planet. While wandering the planet with Knives, oh, Millie. Or Milwy. Okay, thank you. In the anime No Man's Land is an unnamed planet. While wandering the planet with Knives, Vash shoots his brother for trying to delete more people. Vash is rescued by a group of humans from the only remaining functioning ships on the planet and leaves after a few months. He goes to July in the hopes of meeting Rem's friends, but finds Knives has deleted them. Millie. Okay, thanks. In ensuing firefight, Knives shoots off Vash's left arm, which activates his white angel arm, resulting in July's destruction throughout the series. Vash feels pressure to avoid killing his enemies. As the two interact, Wolfwood decides to be a pacifist like Vash, but is killed by one of Knives' men. Bringing Vash further grief is Legato, who controls the civilizations targeting Merle and Millie. This force Vash kills Legato in order to save his friends. Despite being initially shocked by the idea of committing a sin, Vash finds peace when Merle says any person can find redemption regardless of action. Amen, I agree with that. There is no, like the saying goes, there is no saint without a past and no sinner without a future. Vash faces and defeats Knives, whose fate is ambiguous. Vash then decides to adopt a new way of life, discarding the red coat that marked Rem's influence over him. The anime ends. Vash returns with his brother's body, Merle and Millie. Yes, amen. Besides the anime, Vash appears in the 2010 Trigun film Badlands Rumble, in which he travels to Maca City, where he meets a bounty hunter named Amelia and McFly. Seeking revenge against a thief named Gasback, Amelia joins Vash and Wolfwood in a quest to capture him. Amelia decides to follow Vash's example and does not kill Gasback, but allows him to be taken into custody. Vash also appears in manga anthology of alternate stories. Vash began the protagonist who, along with Wolfwood, protects the village from thieves. In the sequel, the manga Boyochi. Vash meets. Demon Eye is my by the way. Oh, okay. Thanks for the information. Vash meets another plant who seeks her own death. Trigun Stampede. An alternate, Vash explains to Merle that Roberto De Niro that he had been mistakenly accused of stealing plants when it is really Knives who is responsible. After a confrontation, who his brother that results in tragedy, Vash takes his leave and heads east towards July City to pursue Knives. As the anime continues, Vash is revealed to be from the human colonization fleet, where it is revealed that both Vash and Knives are independents. Human like beings born from regular plants, he regurgitated trusting Knives with command codes for the ships, which he used to sabotage and destroy most of the fleet. Suffering from guilt, Vash wandered the desert where he was rescued by the survivors ship 3, led by Luda Lenter. As he spends more time with them, Vash is accepted by the humans. Vash is dropped into a tank where Knives forcibly initiates mental connection with him. Knives intends to synchronize with Vash, using his unique ability to open a two-way gate to higher dimension. Knives plans to use the core to give every plant a soul, making them all independent and guaranteeing humanity's extinction. Vash resists as Knives manipulates his memory and shows him that there was a third independent child on their ship who was used for cruel experiments. Merle pleads with Vash to wake up, and her voice ultimately caused him to regain his senses, ejecting Knives, whom he ends up defeating in the aftermath. Vash impacts in July City, inadvertently destroying the entire city. 2 years later, Vash has become a fugitive again, with the remaining cities posting an unprecedented 60 billion bounty on his head. Wow, 60 billion. And there's Vash right there. A very cool outfit. It's a little part right here. We'll read, and then that'll be it for the stream for tonight. Alright. Popularity. Vash was ranked second in the 1998 annual anime Grand Prix in the male character category. Behind Spike. That's from the second show. Oh, okay. Okay, thanks. The male category behind Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop. Read this again. Vash was ranked second in 1998 annual anime Grand Prix in the male character category behind Spike's Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop. In 2000, the Society from the Prominence Promotion of Japanese Animation awarded Vash the Best Male Character U.S. Release Award. Anime News Network listed him in Wolfwood as one of the biggest Firecast frenemies because of their constant struggles and consistent friendship. Anime Nation considered Vash one of the most popular 1990s characters, along with Spike, Spiegel, and Sakura Kinomoto from Card a Captor, Sakura manga. A Wolfwood for life. Absolutely. In 2009, Vash Stampede was ranked 17th in IGN's top anime characters of all time, and Nightow was praised for how well Trigun's lead designed. IGN ranked him as 20th greatest anime character of all time in 2014 because balance displayed between his goofiness and grief and the narrative. Hobby Council's listed as one of the coolest characters in anime based on his skills, his personality, and another poll, Vash was voted the second best Meisaya Onosaka character after France from Hetalia Axis Powers. Vash had been used in merchandise including action figures, plush dolls, and keychains, clothes, and cosplay and sunglasses. Yeah, so shout out to Vash. Really cool character. And look more into this on the next one. Alright. Okay. And also I'll show you Alien. Check for another time or whatever. Alright. And also, okay. And basically, alright, so that is the show for tonight. I really appreciate all of you being here and hang out with me. And we talk about some really great topics. And we'll talk more about Vash next one. And also about the Daikon and the Edo period. Alright. So thank you all for coming. And let's see. Alright. And peace. Some reason the oh, there we go. Balloons work. Alright. Yeah, good morning now. And Blue, see you on the next one, probably tomorrow or tonight. We'll see you tonight. Alright.